Now, I didn't tell you, but there is a surprise question at the end of 10 with Ty always. And you mentioned Melbourne before. I know you're in Melbourne, so I'm going to put it to you. Yeah. Why would I buy in Melbourne when you've got land tax there where the threshold starts at 50K? In New South Wales, it's 969K on $1 million property, right? You've got a windfall gains tax. There's other tax. Seems like there's taxes coming out of Melbourne's left, right, centre. Why would I buy in Melbourne?
Yeah, really good question. And I hear what you're saying. Ironically, there are people selling out, but they tend to be the older people who don't have a lot of cash flow. So they can't necessarily meet their obligations. They're retired. So they're sort of freeing up cash and shifting their property. But it's not everyone. I mean, we've got a lot of investors in the market and those numbers have increased in the last 12 months. There's still the fact that Melbourne is now got a population larger than Sydney even. We have a lot of immigration. We have a lot of employment opportunities. We have massive amounts of infrastructure, more so that's happening than anywhere else in the country. I'm not negating the fact that we have had a fiscally incompetent government who mismanaged the finances. Have I said that clearly enough?
No. Louder and prouder, please.
So I'm not negating that. And what's disgusting with every government is they use property owners as a soft target to pay for their incompetence. And it happens in every state. Look, I've got multiple properties in Victoria. I'm not selling them. They're fundamentally still good assets. All I'm going to do is pay capital gains tax, lose the income, and then buy somewhere else, pay stamp duty again. And, there's nothing to say that the other states won't play the same game. So unfortunately, more and more, it's one of those things where we factor that in as a cost. Those people that are selling, we've still got home buyers in the market. So seemingly there's less rental stock potentially over time as a result of this, which means the opportunities for capital growth and high yields are ironically better. And so the fundamentals are here. I mean, we've also had a softening in the market. I bought a property this week for a client, an exceptional property in a regional area for $460,000 that 18 months ago would have easily gone for $600,000.
Yeah, right.
So the time is right to buy back into the market because we're sort of at the bottom of the cycle.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so it could be priced in is what you're saying. This land tax could be priced in. And look, and at any point, they could change that, right? And then there'll be a flurry there. So maybe get in there before, if you ask me. But I wonder, do these people do a cost-benefit analysis, right, on having this lower land threshold? And then how does that affect stamp duty? People aren't buying and they're not getting their 30, 50K stamp duty clip, right? They might be getting a bit of land tax, but are they getting the stamp duty?
So the governments are always short-sighted when they sting, property owners with various taxes, whether it's resi or commercial or land or whatever the case may be. And then they point the finger and they demonise landlords and all the rest of it. So the cycle is the same. It's never we're responsible, we're incompetent, we need to find a way to rectify it. It's always a demonisation of landlords or taxes. So yes, I hear what you're saying, but I can't speak for any government, but it doesn't mean the next government that comes in won't wind some of that back because of how unbelievably unpopular it is. And those governments may understand it's better to have a booming economy and attract people to a state than not.
What they might get in is a decent marketing team and rebrand it, calling it a COVID tax, where you guys are locked in there for the worst COVID lockdown in the world. And now we're going to have a 10-year COVID tax to remind everyone of our lockdown. Please change the name, people.
Look, there's so much going on with politicians. If all of us could magically stand out the front and protest in Parliament and insist on an election to bring it, try and end the pain sooner rather than later, wouldn't that be brilliant? I know in Europe over the years they've stormed governments and stormed palaces and all the rest of it, but I think Aussies are a little bit more complacent than that.
Now, Miriam, I'd love this. Now, if you want to have Miriam in your corner, how would they contact you, Miriam, and where will they buy your book?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'll just share my screen with you.
Sure, go.
So the website is propertymavens.com.au. Got a little sandwich navigation bar on the side. So if you go into resources, you can buy my best-selling book there. There's a home buyer get ready assessment where you take a quiz. Log on to that and it'll ask you some questions so that you've got an understanding as to whether or not you're ready to buy a home. And then if you'd like, so there's plenty of resources, there's blogs, there's webinars, plenty of webinars that I've done with Terry Ryder and hotspotting over the last decade. And then we've got lots of success stories. But if you'd like a free consultation, then hit the contact button, hit free consultation, give us some information around what you're looking for, where you're looking to buy. We work across all of these areas, and then one of the team will reach out and, happily see how we can help you. And look, if we can't help you ourselves, we will definitely point you in the right direction. But also, if you want to have a look at our success stories, we've got hundreds of them there. And look, clients have come back 2, 3, 4 times. That's pretty typical. Because again, you get that first one right, and then you make sure that, you leverage off that you get into your next one and your next one, but not necessarily at the exclusion of accounting and tax advice.
And should everyone get a depreciation schedule, Miriam?
Absolutely. That created to your team.
Good idea. Excellent. I've loved this chat so much. I'm glad I gave you a voice, and thanks for being part of 10 with Ty.
Oh, thank you so much, Ty. It's been great. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. If you own an investment property, then Washington Brown can help you pay less tax with an ATO-compliant depreciation schedule. Visit washingtonbrown.com.au to pay less tax today.